Do not ever bring me a case like this again.
An electrician was arrested after fixing his elderly neighbor's power during a deadly heat wave without a city permit. What the judge said next shocked the courtroom.
Your Honor, she's 87 years old. Her breaker failed and her air conditioner shut off. It was 95 degrees inside her house. I fixed it in 10 minutes for free. Was I supposed to let her collapse while I filled out paperwork?
All electrical work requires a city permit. He acted without authorization. Procedures exist for public safety. He should have waited for proper authority.
Let me make this perfectly clear. This man prevented an elderly woman from suffering heat stroke. That is not a crime. That is basic human decency. These charges are dismissed. And counselor, do not ever bring me a case like this again.
If this ruling felt right, drop a heart and follow for more cases.
He tried to evict a blind old man for having a pet, but when the man explains why the dog is there, the room goes silent.
Your Honor, the lease is crystal clear. Section 4, paragraph 2. No animals on the premises. Mr. Jacobs has kept a large dog in his apartment for 3 months. It's a breach of contract and a liability. I want him evicted immediately.
I didn't get a dog because I was lonely, sir. I lost my sight last year. Buster isn't a pet, he's my eyes. He helps me cross the street. He helps me find my medication.
If you are trying to evict a blind man for a medical service animal, federal law protects him, not your lease. Under fair housing rules, assistance animals aren't treated as pets. A lease clause doesn't override a reasonable accommodation. This eviction is denied.
The city fined her $1,200 for giving sandwiches to homeless people. Watch the judge shut this down.
Your Honor, I make sandwiches every Sunday after church. I hand them out near the park. Just turkey, cheese, maybe an apple. People are hungry. I've been doing this for 3 years, Your Honor. Nobody ever said anything. Now they're saying I need a food vendor permit. I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to help. That's all.
Section 8-204 of the Health Code prohibits the distribution of unpermitted food in public spaces. Mrs. Torres has no food handler's license, no liability insurance, no inspection certificate. If someone gets sick, the city is exposed to lawsuits.
Your Honor, I make them in my own kitchen. It's just bread and turkey. I'm not running a restaurant. These are people who haven't eaten all day. How is that illegal?
Officer Brooks, this woman is feeding hungry people, not running a hot dog cart. There's no commercial activity here. The citation is dismissed. And maybe your department should focus on actual health violations instead of charity.
She sued her stepmother for selling her late mother's house worth $400,000 without permission. The judge's response shocked the courtroom.
Your Honor, my mother left me her house and her will. I grew up there. My father remarried and gave his new wife access. My stepmother sold my house without telling me and kept all $400,000. I came home from college to find strangers living there. She stole my inheritance.
My husband and I needed the money. The house was too big and expensive to maintain. I handled the sale as the lady of the house. She's young and doesn't need a whole house. We used the money for our family expenses. I did what was best for everyone.
Your late mother's will specifically left that house to your stepdaughter. You had no legal right to sell her property. You stole $400,000 in her family home. That's theft and fraud. Judgment for the plaintiff. $400,000 plus interest, legal fees, and punitive damages.
A developer shifted boundary stakes during early construction. Concrete was poured the very next morning. The neighbor noticed the markers were no longer aligned. The court reviewed the original survey.
Your Honor, I've lived on that property for 32 years. The original survey markers have been in the same position the entire time. When the developer began excavation next door, I noticed the stakes marking our boundary had shifted roughly 18 inches inward onto my side. I took photos that afternoon. By the next morning, concrete was poured for the foundation. I ordered a certified survey immediately after.
Your Honor, survey stakes are temporary construction guides. They can be disturbed during excavation. There was no intentional movement of property markers. We relied on the measurements provided by our licensed surveyor. The foundation was poured in good faith. In accordance with the building permit, this is a permitted project valued in the millions. We can't suspend progress every time a neighbor raises an objection.
The court has reviewed the certified pre-construction survey and the post-pour boundary verification. The encroachment measures 17 inches into the plaintiff's parcel. Temporary construction markers do not override recorded deed boundaries. The timing of the stake movement and foundation pour raises serious concern. The defendant is ordered to remove the encroaching section of foundation within 60 days. Failure to comply will result in daily civil penalties of $1,500 until corrected.
A young widow tried to rob her late husband's grandkids of their inheritance. She thought she owned it all until the judge revealed a secret update to the will.
Your Honor, I was his wife. I deserved this lifestyle. I cared for him while those ungrateful grandchildren did nothing. This entire estate belongs to me by law. I won't let them take a single cent from my home.
Your Honor, this isn't about the money. It's about the memory boxes our grandfather spent years building for us. He told us they were ours, but she changed the locks and blocked us from our family history. It is just so cruel.
Mrs. Henderson, your marriage doesn't grant you the right to erase this man's 70-year legacy. I have the signed update to the will right here. The grandchildren have full legal rights to the estate effective immediately. Get out of my courtroom. Case dismissed.